Hi there, welcome to another one of my Own Your Expertise interviews. I'm Emily Crookston, owner and decider of all things at the Pocket PhD. I'm the ghostwriter for Rebels, Renegades, and Mavericks, and I love helping experts with big ideas get those ideas out of their heads and into the hands of their fans. Today I'm sitting down with Joe Templin. Joe is the author of Everyday Excellence, A Guide to Growing, and he describes himself, there he is with the book. He's also a martial artist and an ultra distance runner. So lots of cool stuff to talk about with Joe. How would you describe your path to becoming the expert that you are?
As Steve Jobs said, it's looking back that you can connect the dots on the story. So one of the things that I talk about with people is that in our life, it's really like playing a video game in some ways where you're consistently leveling up and you're trying to achieve this mission, but there's these constant side quests. And the goal of the side quest should either be complete and total fun or to get skills and resources that you can utilize in your main quest. And so, you know, my running started as a supplement to my martial arts. And at this point now I'm doing ultra marathons. In fact, I just committed to a 125-kilometer race in April.
Oh my gosh.
So, and those things, you know, the physical and mental aspects of it are tremendous, but you also get a lot of additional discipline. And then you tap into emotional resources that you never knew that you had from that, which you can use in other things, whether it's your parent develops cancer, you're building a business, you're going through a divorce, what have you. These other resources that you develop on these side quests will help you in that main quest of life.
So I'm really curious. I agree with you 100%. The path to expertise is never a straight line. It's never linear. And given that we know that, I'm curious about your approach in particular to goal setting. It seems really hard to say, okay, you know, I want to hit this revenue goal by the end of the year, because it seems like to get there, that would be a very linear kind of thing. You figure out the plan, you come up with the steps, but knowing that you're going to get derailed perhaps at some point, or you're going to find one of these side excursions that you want to take in the middle of the year that might change your plans. What is your personal approach to goal setting?
I'm a big fan of having BHAGs, according to Jim Collins from Good to Great. So for example, I want to sell 1 million copies of my book. Yeah, I want
BHAG. Let's define BHAG for people in case they don't. Big hairy audacious goal. Yeah, good, okay? Good. Didn't want that to go by. Yeah.
A big number, okay?
Yeah.
You shoot for the stars, because if you miss, you're still going to be, you know, up there. So I'm a big fan of having these BHAGs, but also knowing what your minimum threshold is. So like if your goal is to do $1 million of revenue, you can focus on that and make the plans and do everything. And if you know that as long as you make 120,000 of revenue, you're going to be able to live your lifestyle and pay your bills and do all that. So figure out what you need to do to make sure that you're hitting that minimum threshold, okay? So that you finish the marathon. Doesn't matter if it's 6 hours or if it's 3 hours, you're getting the same medal, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks just like that. It's the exact same, right?
Right.
But if then you figure out, how can I do better with, how can I really reach this stretch goal? What can I do to achieve that? And that takes some creative thinking, because you're probably not going to be able to go from this level up to this level by doing the exact same thing and just doing more of it. So you need creativity, you need to look at your processes, you need to have a better knowledge base, you need to have more understanding, but also then breaking it down and having that discipline to do what you know you need to do every single day.
Another question, what is your die in a ditch belief? And for the audience, this is a belief, something you've thought about pretty long and hard, something you'd be willing to defend if pressed. Might be a little controversial, but it draws a line in the sand for you. So I'm curious about your die in a ditch belief.
This is my die in the ditch belief, is that we are more than we currently are. We can unlock greatness. We can be nicer to people. We can achieve more in our work. We can be better spouses, parents, friends. We can, you know, be able to reduce our negative aspects, whether it's, you know, our anxiety, our depression. We can mitigate our, you know, proclivity towards addiction, because a lot of addiction, has been studied, is because people are avoiding pain. They're avoiding something inside, and so they're seeking a temporary thrill or what have you. And anybody can improve in these ways if they want to badly enough. And that's really where a lot of the crux is, because people are like, it's good enough.
Yeah, or I think, we place so much emphasis on success that, I think people have this view that if I'm naturally not good at a thing, it's not really worth my time
Mm,
to, I'm never going to be successful because I'm not naturally good. You can get better and just define success in a certain way for you, right? Maybe success is a big, hairy, audacious goal around competing in a dance competition, right?
mm.
And it doesn't have to be winning the dance competition, but it's getting there, doing the work to be able to feel comfortable.
Right. And it's that entire process of
Yeah.
becoming a champion in whatever capacity. You don't
Yeah.
necessarily need the gold belt to be a champion
Right.
overall.
So you have a ton of energy. I can feel it pouring out through my screen here, and that's awesome. But I wonder if there's any practice you do to re-energize when you do feel like, I don't know, everybody wakes up in the morning and says, "Oh, I don't want to do the
No?
100 punches on each hand,"
Oh, you know what? I
Yeah.
feel that way many a morning.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
Marcus Aurelius says, you know, is your job to lie in bed, or is it to face the day and do the job of a human and, to face your tasks like a Roman? So, I get up, I just say, suck it up and go. And, I just start that habit chain because I know the other things are going to happen. That's one of the reasons why I try to avoid trying to get in a workout at night, because the chaos of the day always ensues. Things come on up, stuff with the kids, school calls, you know, stuff explodes at work every single day. There's chaos. That's one of the reasons I get up early, so that I can attack the day before everything goes wrong, because things inevitably go wrong. It's just how are we resilient and deal with the chaos.
Yes.
One of the things that I tell people that I'm working with is impose some order on the chaos of your universe every single day, where it's making your bed or cleaning up your desk or just, recording your activity numbers at work. Make sure that you've imposed some form of order, because you have improved your universe in that way.
Thank you, Joe. This has been such a fun conversation today. I've really enjoyed it. I appreciate you. Why don't you tell everybody who's curious where they can find you online?
So they can find me. There's a Facebook group for Everyday Excellence. It's actually JRRT One Ring, because that's my full name and everything. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can go to the Everyday Excellence website. It's everyday-excellence.com. Oh, and by the way, if they go to the website, if they use the code Emily C, they get a 10% discount on anything they purchase. If they want to get the book or any of the audio stuff that we have up there, there'll be podcasts. So Emily's podcast is going to be up there and you can find it again. So that's one good way to find us. The book's available on Amazon at this point, both hard copy and Kindle. So it's out there, and you can also follow us on Twitter. I tweet out every single day different quotes and a little bit of insight, hopefully something entertaining and educating.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Joe.
Hey, Emily, this has been awesome. And as I tell everyone, be excellent and grow today.